Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are doing a reaction video in regards to Dale and Claire. And I know you guys saw that epic episode on Thursday night, so we're going to try to tap into that a little bit and see, what's the deal with them, can they last, what's next for them. And also we're going to talk about some of the fans' reaction and even some of the past Bachelor and Bachelorette cast reactions. So before we jump into this video, if you're new here, smash the subscribe button to continue to get quality content. If you like the video, feel free to smash the like button and also comment down below. We want to know your thoughts too, because we do like engaging in with the subs. So as we know, Claire said goodbye to the remaining 16 suitors to pursue Dale on Thursday's episode. But let's first, before we get how we got there, talk about a little bit of her history, because she has a very long history when it comes to the Bachelor franchise. So if you remember, her journey started out and ended about 6 years ago in the Juan Pablo season, and we, without going through that whole season and rehashing it, we know how it turned out. It was a very unhappy experience for Claire, and it ended that season for her. Then, of course, she was also on one of the spinoffs, The Bachelor in Paradise, where she was able to, meet several different guys and get to know some new folks. And, it was kind of optimistic for her to see that she was able to, maybe find love again this time. And as we all know, it didn't go so well, right? And I mean, she even did, I think, the Winter Games, and guys, correct me down below, but this is one opportunity where she did meet someone, and you guys remember, his name was Benoit. And a lot of the fans didn't find them as a likely pair, but they kind of shocked the fans during that particular season and made a connection. And it was interesting because, I mean, she thought he was the one. I mean, it was a little bit more time involved, but of course she did make a connection with Benoit, and eventually, it grew into something more. So much more that they decided to take it to another level. And of course, I'm not going to rehash that as well, because we're here for this season that just ended. But I kind of wanted to start from a beginning point with regards to her journey and, her loves and losts in the past. But, this unlikely pair, they at the time found a connection, and he decided to propose. So you remember, guys, that was pretty epic. It was shocking that she, connected with Benoit. The thing about this couple, though, is that even though after, of course, him proposing, they dated for a while. I mean, hey, there was a ring involved, everything, the whole nine. It didn't end in a wedding. And it ended amicably, which is the interesting thing, because he was one of the main people with her and Dale season that was in support of everything, from, the engagement, her connection with Dale, and everything like that. So even though, it didn't work out for them, they still remain friends, which is a good thing. I mean, when you can, still end something and you still have that friendship foundation, it turned out to be a good thing for them. And he definitely was giving her kudos for moving into this current season, which was season 16, where, of course, she met all of these gorgeous and handsome guys. And as we all know from the beginning of, well, because it's only been four episodes, but from the start, she in her heart knew and she was for certain that Dale was her husband. Because you guys remember, she said that Dale is, I think I found my husband. And I mean, after declining to give out a second, group date in that last week, she decided to only pursue a relationship with her early favorite, which was Dale, that we, of course, we all know about. And the interesting thing about this, though, is that because she knew, it definitely pushed those guys off to the side, as we know as well. And then the thing is that she decided to go all in. She broke off everything with the other guys, enjoyed her night, and that first one-on-one date with Dale. The rest of the guys were out of the picture, and of course, as we know, they definitely got intimate. We know that for sure. They was kind of getting a little hot and heavy even before then, if you remember the whole blindfold thing. But, after their first date and they're, professing their love for each other and everything, of course, we all know, the next thing is that Chris Harrison told Clare that she had blown up the Bachelorette and the next stage would be an engagement. So we rushed Neil Loung to get a ring together and get it all over to Palm Springs, California. And of course, as we all know, Dale popped the question. And the interesting thing about all of this, it was unusual because usually there is a longer process. The Bachelor or Bachelorette narrows down their choices, potential life partners, but she wasn't here for it. She was like, you know what, I'm done. I found what I want. I'm not going to leave these other guys on. It's a wrap. I want Dale. Dale wants me. I mean, they professed their love to each other and they decided to leave, the resort. Of course, we will see them next week as they go into details, but there's been little things trickling on in the background since, everything we saw on Thursday, such as them putting out little memes and things. And of course, everything switched over to Tayshia, which we'll definitely begin to see her portion of the season starts next week. But, getting back to, Dale and Clare, they seem pretty happy. All of the photos that's been coming out since the whole engagement on Thursday, they've been getting rave reviews from, previous Bachlor and Bachlorette cast members. I mean, her ex, Benoit, wished her the best, and she had rave reviews from Benjamin Higgins on Twitter. She gave us a love story, be nice. This is ultimately what we watch for. Nick Vial said, Clare and Dale, a 2020 love story, happy for you both. So it was quite a few, cast or past Bachelor and Bachelorette cast members, giving their well wishes. Of course, the fans, it was mixed reviews, which we'll talk about later. And I don't know if you guys saw the, Good Morning America interview that was done. And, one of the biggest questions was to Dale, was this too soon? And he was like, it was never a question. I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure that I'm always there for her. So, I mean, if you haven't checked out that GMA video and their interview, go over to ABC and check it out. But so far, so good with these two. And then there was another interview with Bachelor Happy Hour on Bachelor Nation. And they actually wanted to know what was next with the couple, and we're going to hear that in a minute. And once they're done, I'll give my reaction.
Does the future hold for Clare and Dale?
Yeah, I think the future is that starting off, what I love about Dale is that nothing scares him with talking about the future. I talk about babies all the time.
So many babies.
And he's like, yeah, that's what I want. And it doesn't scare him. And I'll remind him of things all the time. If not getting any younger, or I'll say things like that. And he's like, you think I don't know this? Like, yeah, like, let's do this. But like I told you guys earlier, we were house hunting today and picking out the area we live in or we want to live in. And what's important, he knows what's important to me is right now being here for my mom.
And that's something that's honestly, this hasn't been a tough decision, like what needs to happen in the future, because as long as we're together, for me, that's all that matters. And
Same.
Thankfully we have the ability, and it's myself included, even though I have roots in New York, to where I can be where I need to be when I need to be. But we're building a life, we're building a foundation. We want to have a home here, and like ultimately, and the number one thing is to make sure that we're both, that she's secure and safe, but that her family, and we're doing what's best for like us, but also our families. So whatever it is, as long as we're together, that's.
So I'm glad that, they were able to talk with the girls over at Bachelor Nation, because it kind of gave us a little bit of insight on where they really are in regards to what they want to do next. She talked about babies, and that's one thing. She talked about the fact that they're looking to buy a home, and I think from what I understand it's in Sacramento. And then, of course, trying to, take care of her mom. And then Dale was saying also to make sure that she's secure, which is extremely important. The only thing that I didn't hear is a wedding. So I'm not going to, shift my thoughts either way. I'm going to stay neutral. But I'm curious to find out if a wedding is in their future. But let's talk about some of the other reactions. There have been some reactions online. A lot of people thinking, oh my God, this is too soon. Where's her head at? Is she thinking straight? I've seen some things like she's making a stupid mistake. And of course, some of the hate really went left, which, you guys, we don't know these people. These are still people at the end of the day. But at the same time, I think the reaction is based on, of course, people wouldn't do that themselves. Some people might not be the type of person that'll say, okay, you know what? I've dated a guy for 2 weeks. We're proposing. We're getting married. Let's go. That's not typical. However, I think for Claire, she definitely saw the optimism in this because she saw it with her parents. I don't know if you guys remember in Thursday's episode, she did mention about the fact that, her parents married within 3 months. So she knows that something like this can exist. So the possibility is open and available with her. So I can see why she would think that. But there are an overwhelming amount of fans who say, hey, when you know, you know. If she felt that this is love for her and she wanted to pursue this and her and Della on the same page, go for it. I've also heard the good side of this as well, too. So it's been split. When you look at both Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, there is the skepticism. And, a lot of people, there's their fear factor there. Is this guy going to be 100 with her? Is he going to stick around? Was he just doing this for publicity or for TV, or he being an actor? I think I heard one term. And then there's the other group that is supporting her because of the fact that she chose love and she's not apologizing for it, that she's just going to go for it. When you know, you know. So she's getting both sides of this thing. My thoughts on this is that I just want them to be happy. If it works out for them, fine. They made the choice to be with each other. And long term, if it doesn't, then they just move on and hopefully find the person that they are meant to be with. Now, it wouldn't be a personal choice of mine because I have my own preferences and how, I would like to get to know someone and, proceed into something that goes further. But for them, if it's working, it's working. She's a Pisces, he's a Libra. They're all about emotions and love and sensitivity. So there definitely will have it there. But we'll have to wait and see to see how it goes. So until next time, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you then.